So greetings to you. Greetings and welcome. It's Wednesday. It's the 12th. The 12th day of November. Thank you for being a part of the program today. And while you watch, like this broadcast, click the like button, and click the subscribe button. What would be a good Christmas gift for me besides your donations? Because your donations are the best. That's the best gift I can ever fantasize, knowing that I have these loyal supporters, all the lovely people who click on the videos, who click on the live, who share the live, who comment on the live, who subscribe to the channel. My greatest gift. Actually, we should all be called Prasad, because we're all gifts to each other. You're my gift, I'm your best gift, but you are my greatest gift. But what would be a blessing this holiday, besides your contributions, is knowing that on Christmas morning, this channel, this YouTube channel, can have 25,000 subscribers. That would be a fabulous blessings this Christmas. And this can only be possible with you, the great citizens of the world, because we don't just have Guyanese watching and following and subscribing. We have people from all over the world. I want to thank you for your continued support and trust and belief. Nothing is personal that comes out of this show. My rhetoric, my statements is not meant to make any Guyanese citizen uncomfortable. This is a political platform, and I address issues that are detrimental towards the peace and prosperity of the country I love and the nation I admire, the people I treasure, you the Guyanese. I am not like the other so-called influencers or pundits. I am unique. There's only one like me. I do things my way. I bow to no politician. I fear no man. And I have absolutely no respect for threats, idle criticism, and haters. My time and my effort is only budgeted to invest for the benefit of the good citizens of Guyana. That's basically it. So welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I am Dr. Prasad. And on today's show, I want to start off with this. I saw a news item circulating regarding an alleged security guard for the sheriff security firm. Now, it is known that sheriff is tightly knitted to the Ali government by way of contracts, and this sheriff group is involved with all kinds of ventures. All kinds of ventures. I'm not going to specify, I'll let you specify. A large portion of the sheriff's income is secured from government deals, be it contract, whatever. So we have this clip that was recorded by one of the security guards of the sheriff security agency, where this man on camera was smoking an illegal substance, narcotic, what seems like marijuana mixed with something else, on video. At the same time playing with a loaded weapon, clothed with the uniform of the sheriff security firm. He cranked the shaft and proceeded to pull the trigger. Now that clearly showed that that individual was an untrained individual to handle a firearm. The question is, how could a sheriff security firm that had secured their license from the Guyana Ministry of Home Affairs to operate a security firm and then hire security guards without properly vetting them, training them to provide security for the citizens of Guyana who may hire that firm? You saw in the video a fucking lowlife, a Buxton thug, a Agricola scumbag, with his face like a fucking graveyard, smoking, all messed up. What the fuck is he securing? What's his post? The cemetery? Is he post securing a dog kennel? Is he an animal farm watcher? To have a security guard in that condition with such a powerful weapon, and the gun went off, if that was below an apartment or folks were living above, somebody would have gotten injured, possible death, by that low-life scum hired by the sheriff security firm. These are the things that apparently is being allowed in Guyana. Which other country you see this kind of nonsense? Blackguarded nonsense. Which other country you see that? Not even Haiti. That you give weapons to those scums to handle it. What is it, a ghetto security firm? You hire thugs from the ghetto? Imagine you as a business person, you have a contract with a security firm to have security guards positioned at your place. And you're coming home to your residence and you have to reach up with a security guard that looks like that. You would be fucking afraid to go in your own apartment. Imagine with that face, a security guard with that weapon. I mean, come on, man. You expect better. But that's what you get. Are there policies regarding these security guards? Don't you train them to let them understand how they're supposed to conduct themselves? Making selfies and videos with weapons from the security firm as if it's a toy? If it's something cool, and those same ghetto songs from Jamaica they're playing. This is why I said, you're saying Guyana is not a real place? Well, Jamaica is not a real place. The whole of fucking Jamaica is a ghetto. Look at the songs they are listening to, and look at the influence the songs have on these fucking empty heads. The song is all up in his head, with the marijuana or whatever he's smoking, holding a loaded firearm, And that's supposed to be cool. He's supposed to get girls with that. Your daughters, Afro-Guyanese parents, your fucking daughters are running after those thugs and thinking that, oh, he's sexy, he has a gun, he's smoking this and listening to this Vibes Bartel or whatever fuck the name song and posting it on social media. And they're commenting, they're sharing it. That's supposed to be cool. Why the fuck wasn't he arrested? Why wasn't he arrested? And the sheriff security firm sanctioned for hiring people like that. This is why they say friends and fucking families. Because if the firm or the people in the firm are connected to the government in any way, who is going to investigate that? Who is going to do something about it? Who is? Oh, the Attorney General? Well, let's get to that. So the Attorney General is busy doing what they call his own PR, you know, his own public relation, trying to explain away his poor decision to give directions, in his words, to the police department to hire outside attorneys, namely these Jamaicans that they're paying this large sum of money, to help the Americans extradite a Guyanese. The police department sought advice from the Attorney General, and the Attorney General advised the Guyanese police force regarding this case not to look within the police legal team, not to look at any lawyers, any law firms across Guyana. Get somebody from another country, namely Jamaica, a Jamaican national or nationals, to fly the fuck in the country and defend the Americans' claim of lawful extradition. The Attorney General owned up to that. He, the almighty Anil Nandalal, advised the Guyanese police force to hire foreigners. Fuck them lawyers in Guyana. They're a bunch of dunderheads. Hire outside lawyers. Let them come and help the Americans. So who's getting the credibility here? Who is going to be good with the Americans? Whose career is going to be boosted on the international stage? Whose fucking career? If they are successful in getting the Mohammeds out of the country into the hands of the Americans, who gets a tip on the shoulder? The Jamaican lawyers. The Jamaican lawyers would be recognized for their ability to officiate in these cases, therein raising their value even higher. While the Guyanese lawyers, who are longing for a chance to prove themselves, never gets a fucking chance because we have a fucking Attorney General who don't give a fuck about the lawyers in Guyana. The Guyanese are keep being suppressed by their own. All this nonsense about credentials. Ooh, I don't give a fuck about Jamaican credentials. I don't give a fuck where they worked. or who they worked with is none of my concern. It is my tax-paying fucking dollars that you're taking to pay them. So of course, to justify their price or their fee, they would come with a long CV, accolades, their trophies and all of that, their medals and stuff, to let you understand that you're dealing with superstars of the law. Superstars of the law. So therefore, you have to give them whatever price they ask. They come highly recommended. On whose advice? A Guyanese attorney general who advised a Guyanese police department, according to him, not to take any local lawyers, get the foreigners. To do what? To help the mighty, the almighty American justice system. You would think they can't pay their own lawyers. You would think the Americans can't. Let me digress here. Let me digress. Was it last year? Was it last year? A Guyanese American citizen that was involved in a hit and run accident in the US that resulted in the death of an American citizen. After the incident, he fled to Guyana. Okay? Committed a crime in America, returned to Guyana. Why? Apparently he had dual citizenship. Information that was there. He was also still a Guyanese. Otherwise he wouldn't have come. To hide from the American justice system. They made a request, just like the one they're doing now, that they did now, to have him arrested and extradited. The Guyanese police arrested the man, and he was subsequently extra-fucking-dicted. Simple process. That was murder by drunk driving. He was extradited. It made the news. So my question is to the Attorney General, who were the lawyers that were secured for that individual? Who are the lawyers? Did the police secure foreign lawyers for that extradition case for that individual? Did the government hire lawyers for the Americans in that case and the other cases that involved people being extradited to the US to face the justice system? Were there foreign lawyers involved, and did the government of Guyana, did the people of Guyana pay these lawyers on behalf of the Americans? Did it happen? If not, why is this special? Why is this case special than all the other extraditory cases? Why is it special? All the other cases, apparently, local lawyers were used. The process was quick, done with. You're coming with this talking point that the requested nation must stand the expense for the lawyers that the Americans, well, in this case, Guyanese, secure the lawyers. You would think if the Americans had secured the lawyers, it would be maybe if it would have been a little more transparent. But Anil Nandalal advised the police to get these Jamaicans. Where is the document saying that the Americans requested the Guyanese help in sponsoring and paying for the lawyers for the Americans, where it must have been an official request? You have to show the request from the American Embassy or State Department saying, we request the help of the Guyanese government to source lawyers for us, pay the lawyers for us, fight the case for us in Guyana, then deliver these people to us. Where is the document? to support that claim. If there is such a document, I would not believe it. That is showing the incompetence on the Americans, the weakness of the Americans. And it doesn't happen in other countries. Sir, all it takes is a Google search. I have associates in the United States that I can just pick up the phone and call, and they can get the information for me, just like that. But my common sense will tell me all the time this happens. Like I said, in Suriname, people are extradited a lot here to foreign countries. You never have situations like that where the country has to find lawyers and pay lawyers for the Netherlands or America or wherever that request these people. Never. How is Guyana different in this particular case? Your incompetence knows no bound. It has no equals. It stands alone. You approved of it. You took the blame for this. It's all you're doing. A slap in the face to the genius we have in Guyana there. You have retired senior counsels, retired justices, retired judges who can still or who still have private practices in Guyana. Prominent people who served in different countries in the legal system to gain more experience in their careers. They're right there, right fucking there in the country, Guyana. You overlooked all of them and advised the police department. That's why I said the Ministry of Legal Affairs is a rubber stamp. All this advice against your own people. The ministry has to constantly look for money, look for ways to spend the huge budget that they have. 7 billion, is it? This is what you use it for. And what are the results? If this case prolongs for the next 5 years, what would be your justification? You'll fire these lawyers, you'll keep rehiring and rehiring and rehiring, because it's up to the judge, it's up to the magistrate. She can keep postponing it. She can, on the 26th, she can very well say, case is adjourned until February 2026. In the meantime, you send the lawyers back. You got to accommodate them. You got to find things for them to do. Because how many hearings is this money you're paying them for? Because the 62,000, which I believe it's a part payment, I believe it's much more. If that extradition hearing was concluded on the first sitting and the Mohammeds were gone one time before the magistrate and they were gone, those 3 lawyers would have earned more than 60,000 US dollars just to show up once in a court. Now, is there an extended time? Is there a duration? Is it that you signed a contract to defend the Americans until the extradition process? Is the 62,000 throughout the process? Or as time goes on, they bill you? Is it per appearance? Because I think it could be per appearance. So if the first appearance, that payment was for the first appearance, then you had to pay them again for the 10th, then you have to pay them again for the 26th. 3 times 60, that is 120,000, around 130,000 American dollars for 3 appearances. If the case is not closed after 3 times and it keeps rescheduling for 10 times. That is 600,000 American dollars. 20 times, 1.2 million American dollars. Let's be practical here. What is it for? The whole fucking case or poor appearance? Because if it's for poor appearance, that sounds logical. You can't say it's the whole case until the hearing is finished, because it could be prolonged forever. You think those lawyers are going to be stuck on 62 for 10 and 20 and 50 hearings? Of course not. Of fucking course not, man. They wouldn't. Stop lying, man. You have people within your own organizations who don't like you. That's how you get leaks, President Ali. That's how you get leaks, because there are people in your team, on your team, that don't like you. They don't approve of the shit they're seeing. They want the public to know about the shit they're seeing, so they leak stuff. People that you think are your buddies. I'm talking to the president here. People that you think are your buddies, real tight Indo-Guyanese, Muslim brother, whatever. Some of them still have some patriotic inclination. They still feel for the Guyanese people. And when they see all these shitty things happening in your cabinet, they leak stuff. They want the public to see, hey man, this is what these guys are doing. Not because they hate the president, but because they love their country. And they understand how hard the citizens of Guyana are working. They hear the cries of the people of the country. They also hear the propaganda and the conspiracy theories that are being pushed in favor of the government, and they're seeing that, no, that's not true. These guys are not as good as you're making them out to be. Look at this. That's what's happening. And every time there's a leak, why? Because your own people in your cabinet around you, they're fed up. You have a father who worked his ass off, a cane cutter, a mother that was a domestic, scrubbing rich people's floor. That cane cutter father and that domestic mother saved their money and sent their children to secondary school and high school in Guyana, then university. Then they spend their money and send their children to the US, to England, to other countries to study law. And they seduce their children to come back to your country, work with your country, develop your country. To get this, to get what Nandalal and his groups have done to the legal profession in Guyana, that's what you're telling the parents who have aspirations for their children to get into the legal system. Why would they want to, after seeing that, you tell me, right, why would they want to make the sacrifices they've made and encourage their kids to come back from the US and all around the world to do legal practice in Guyana when there is no fucking opportunities to make it big? These are cases that gives them the international review that they're looking for. You think they want to represent them fucking ghetto thugs? Them scums? You think there's any prestige in doing that? They're not Nigel Hughes. Nigel Hughes get off on representing these fucking criminal thugs in the ghetto. He loves that. But you have ambitious attorneys who want high profile cases to defend. And they rather serve their country. But when you sideline them to give already known, as you say, Jamaican lawyers who has the experience, according to you. And still you can't get a ruling. And the Guyanese, who knows their country, knows their law in the country, they can't get the experience to put that, to add that on their CV. They can't attach that to say that they've, no. The Jamaican can add it now to the long list of cases they would have represented, according to you. While your own people are longing for an opportunity, you took it from them. Fucking shame. Running around on different platforms trying to do damage control. Yeah, well, if you want to do damage control, try running for president. And then you'll see what you'll do to the PPP. That will be damage control. You, Anil Nandalal, should be on the candidates list as a presidential candidate in 2030 and see what you will do to the PPP. All them people now on social media who are talking what they're talking as if they're related to the Attorney General and all these people, you would think it's their brother or their cousins or whatever. They're cussing me out and other people. You would think that they're related to these politicians. You wouldn't believe that these politicians don't even know they fucking exist. They don't even know they exist. But they're picking issues with people like me who want the best for even them, to make it right for the country. I want to show another parallel to Guyanese. The system in Guyana, the governmental structure in Guyana is rigged to benefit the PPP and the PNC. The PNC set it up because it was convenient for Barnum to maintain control. Cheddi Jagan came, did all he could to reform the system, the whole structure, so it can benefit and secure the Guyanese future. All he could. There's a statement that Dr. Jagan made when he was president, visiting, and I think was, I forgot the country, but I think it was the United States of America, and addressing an issue. He said this, and I could never forget that. The Afro-Guyanese, or the blacks in Guyana, are the bottom of the social ladder. And the PNC took that statement, and man, they tried to destroy Cheddi Jagan's legacy with that one sentence. They didn't take it in context to say that, you see, this is how we see black people. He says that the black people are the gutter. They're at the bottom of the ladder. They're this, they're nothing. The man didn't meant that. He was simply telling the international audience he had to come into government by the grace of the Creator and put policies in place to raise every citizen, because the racist PNC, their policy was so bad for the country that they kept the people that they identified with as their people at the bottom of the social ladder. He was just referring to what the PNC did to black people. And it hurt him. It was a heavier challenge to reform the whole system so that nobody is at the bottom of the social ladder, that the blacks can rise from there. But the PNC didn't leave it as that. They said, look, Cheddi Jagan said that the blacks are at the bottom of the social ladder. It is a matter of, before Cheddi made that statement, You go any part of the world. That's a fact. Black politicians keep their black constituents at the bottom of the fucking social ladder. It is easy to control them. Black people are difficult, impossible to control. To control black people, black politicians, black ministers, black churches encourage poverty amongst the black people. They encourage it because if they're poor, they're always in need. And because they're always in need and you have access to, you can give a little bit while at the same time controlling the masses of the black people. Donald Trump warned against that. Chetty warned against that. All the leaders around the world who are not black leaders, they warned against how black politicians, black pastors, or black churches are keeping their black constituents poor, disenfranchised, lack of economic opportunities. And when they call them out for that, the same black media spins it. You say, look, listen, he's racist, he's racist, he's racist. Now, oh, it's not different in Suriname. Like I said, everywhere is the same thing. We have the issue with the housing and land crisis in Guyana. The PNC structured the system in such a way that people can only have access to a limited amount of land and houses per year. The runaround is so exhausting that some people don't mind. They're like, you know what, fuck it, I'll go rent a house. Renting a house is better in most cases. People are exhausted. It was a system that was put in place with the intention to keep the average black Guyanese homeless. They have to pay rent for the rest of their fucking life. And who do you think, who did you think put that system in place? Not a white man. Oh, definitely not the PPP. It was the PNC. However, after the passing of the greatest soul Guyana has ever known, Cheddi Jagan, to whom I am a knight of Cheddi, the aftermath of that, a lot of the PPP people, including Barajaglio, did not try to further that initiative, to change that process. It was comfortable and convenient. They just keep it on and just change a few things there and there, but it's okay. Years after, Guyanese, the average Guyanese, must access 13 different departments within the whole housing sector to get one fucking piece of land. 13 different offices, 13 different individuals have to review and sign before it gets to the minister to get the minister's signature for a piece of land that none of these fuckers own. 13. From the local NDC to get to the minister, it's 13 steps. Oh, that's from the government's mouth itself. I thought it was like 5 or 6. I did not know it was like all that. This is why you have to wait years for your land application to be processed. Years. But if you know somebody, or you have enough money to bribe somebody, you got to bribe the one from the NDC, and you have to give him enough so he can bribe 13 other people. You see where the money is being made? And all the money that you pay your bribe to get the land, only to find out that the land cost a fraction of the bribe you had to pay. If the bribe is 100,000 Guyana dollars, just a matter of a figure. If the bribe you had to pay as a citizen, 100,000 Guyana dollars to get your land title, you will discover that the money you have to pay at the registration office, deeds and registry office, to get that paper is 5,000. 5,000, that's the fee. But it costs you 100,000 just to pay 5,000. And if you don't want to bribe 13 different steps, then you have to wait 13 fucking years. Oh, and I'm being modest. That's being modest. Some people are still waiting. And they were born in Hoyt's time. I mean, Chetty's time. They're still waiting. The application is lost. They can't find it. Oh, the fire destroyed all the application. You have to start the process all over again. Yeah. Because they didn't pay. By comparison, in Suriname, the neighbor. Oh, Suriname and Guyana was actually one place. The Dutch had both. It was just a different county. Then they had a little fight. White people, they fight against each other. And the two brothers say, hey, you know what? You keep Guyana, give me Suriname. So the British decided to take over Guyana, and the Dutch kept Suriname. But the Dutch had both first. So there's no big difference in policy, just language. However, in Suriname, before your application, your land application gets to the minister for their signature, it's one fucking office. One. You go to one office. You apply via one office. Not two, not three, not five, fucking one. And there are many ways you can apply via that office. Many ways. But it's one step. Within months. Within months. People get their land. It doesn't take long. Because it's one office. It has always been that case. From that office to the minister. There is no 4 and 5 and 6 and 10 and 20. No, just fucking one and then the minister. So tell me how the fuck Guyana has to have 13. How? All Guyana would have needed is the same thing. You have your local RDC, your local NDC. You apply from whatever district you're from. That's what the Neighborhood Democratic Council is for. You apply for your land via the NDC. That's it. The NDC sends the applications after conducting their research and making sure that the land is available and they have allocated whatever. They approve it. They send for the minister to make it legal. Should only be 2 steps. NDC, Ministry of Housing. That's it. That's all it should have taken. All. So if you have an NDC that looks over a certain area, how much people do you have to deal with? How much people? The NDCs are the ones who are supposed to approve these land requests. So if you have 8,000 a month and it goes to the minister's office, you're telling me that the minister has to he has to read every one of it? If it's already approved via the local government, it's approved. The housing is just there to legitimize it, stamp it, and fucking sign it. He don't have to sign it individually. They have what you call the auto pen. The auto pen, that's what signs it. He ain't got it like at his desk. This it. No. It's a stamp. That's it. But the long process and all the steps that governments usually implement is to keep the people frustrated, keep the people hopeful, longing, so you control their behavior. Oh, your application is with the government, so you know you have to behave nice. Because if you don't behave nice, maybe they would pull your file. You wouldn't get this land. It's wrong to treat Guyanese like that. And this seemed to be the case in every situation. In every situation. I'm being bothered now with all these initiatives that the government is explaining about the bank procedures and opening banks and financing things. I'm beginning to think as to who will get access to these loans. Who will have priority over these loans? Because if everything that comes out of the government, you got to know somebody, then when you set up all of these financial institutions to help Guyanese, who are the Guyanese that will be receiving this help? And how fast and how much? Because so far, it's favoritism. So far. Even when it comes to the allocation of houses, you have people who have been covered. And this is not party loyalist. Oh no. You got a lot of PPP's members who are treated shitty by the government. A lot of them. Their lands are being taken away. They can't get their insurance. They're being mistreated. They're being marginalized. A lot of PPP supporters. There are a lot of blacks that are finding favor with the government, because I guess the government is still trying to win over the blacks that they know they can't win. However, they have a lot of situations where in the Ministry of Housing, the houses that are being given out, the prime areas are given to special people. Same houses, different location. So you have a scheme where they're giving, you talk about low income houses, all are low income, but the first 3 roads to the public road, the first 3 roads or rows or streets are given to special people. Way down at the back, that's where the average citizen gets. But all the schemes that they're giving out, the front lots, the corner lots, the lots where the roads are finished or it's much bigger, same price range, same price range. That is being given to special people. My question is, this is not a coincidence. When they talk about, oh, we're pulling the lots, we're pulling the lots. They only pull lots out of the bag that are not given out yet. And the lots that they pull are from a certain position in the schemes going back, not coming front, going back. So if you have 3,000 houses that you give out that occupies the first half of that scheme, and those 3,000 houses were priority people, it meant that you had to have gone through each application individually. and you know exactly who is getting what. It's no random thing here. And if so be the case, why? Why the caste system? Why the caste system in Guyana? All Guyanese are equal. Everyone are equal. When you become a criminal like the Mohammeds, then you're not equal. But if you are a law-abiding Guyanese, you are a law-abiding citizen. You pay your taxes. You don't break the law. You respect everybody. Why the caste system? Why you have to go way to the back? Because some special privileged individuals get the first from because they're connected to the ministry, the politicians, or people within the ministry, or people within the government. Every part of the country you go is the same fucking practice. The system is rigged against the average Guyanese. And the day is coming. The day is coming when Guyanese strength will be tested. That day has arrived, as you have seen. The American SS whatever, Gerald Ford, that huge alien craft ship. You know, you saw the movie, alien movies, Battle for something. Yeah, Battleship, Rihanna. You saw those huge alien ships, you see them? Well, one like that is in the Caribbean Sea right now, just offshore to Venezuela. When that ship arrives, you know that the war starts. That's the whole point of that ship. As long as that ship docks in your backyard, that's it. The war has broken. War break. It's in your backyard now. Maduro understands that he's finished. And they're not going to leave empty-handed. So Guyanese, your time of test has arrived. The Americans will have to leave with Azraddin Mohammed, his father, and Maduro. They're not leaving empty-handed. They ain't going to bring that huge ship all the way to the Caribbean Sea that took weeks to get here to just leave with Maduro. No, they're going to take his friends with him, like Azraddin and his father and all the others. They got to join that military escort to federal prison. In Maduro's case, might be dead. In the Mohammed's case, you're better off just giving up yourself. Tell, what's his name again? You see, I forgot his name. The man lies so much that I forgot his name is Anil Nandala. Tell Anil Nandala, look, we don't want any war in Guyana. Don't use the taxpayers' money anymore to fund your foreign friends. We're just going to give ourselves up. Don't forget it. Go there and negotiate and maybe beg Donald Trump and maybe he will pardon us. Then we'll come back and we'll win the elections in 2030. They're better off doing that. The Mohammeds can just simply do that. Stop wasting everybody's time. But Maduro, he has seen that the ship is there. There are about 15,000 plus soldiers, special forces, all them guys waiting. They're on the ground in Venezuela. Donald Trump just has to press the red button and say, start bombing their asses. They bombed like 19 boats. 19. Now Maduro wants to hold a national day of strike. All the militants, all the big mouth and the threats, he gonna annex Essequibo, he gonna get Guyana, he gonna this, he gonna that. All the training his citizens to fight against the American, all that is out the window. Now his next strategy is a public strike. Nobody goes to work. That's the kind of patriotic leader a lot of you Guyanese want to back, like your Mohammed people. That's how patriotic he is to his country. He rather burn Venezuela down just to save his own ass. I mean, literally burn the country down, like Jim Jones. Maduro is a Jim Jones. Because he's saying now, if the Americans declare war, the whole of Venezuela will strike. Not strike back, not fight back with guns. They ain't going to work. Shut down the country. No jobs, no work. You know the thing that the blacks in Guyana love to do? The thing that the black people love to do, when they say the black people, you guys are so sensitive, man. The PNC crowd, the unions of the PNC, they always want an excuse not to go to work. And strike is a thing that they love. They look forward for that. So when the Ali government is fucking up, those blacks under the PNC, they love that. Good, we're not going to work today. Why you had to call off the strike so soon? Come on, can't you let it prolong for like 6 months? Yeah. Now Maduro got himself some black fever. He's saying Venezuela is going to strike. No work, shut the country down, and show America what they're doing to the country. No, Maduro, you're stupid ass. You're doing it to your country. And I doubt whether Venezuelans are going to do that. They're not going to do that. They just want you to go and deal with your stuff. Just like in Guyana's situation, the Guyanese wants Anand Nandalal to stay the fuck out this process and let the Mohammeds go and deal with their crimes. You dropped all the charges against them. Good for them. Now get out of the way, Anand Nandalal, and let the people just go and deal with their crimes. Rid Guyana of the curse, and President Ali should fire your ass. President Ali. I hear a lot of bad stuff about you. A lot of bad stuff. Another day. Another day. But for now, you need to fire Anand Nandalal. Fire him. What, he's going to sue the government? He's going to sue the government. I know it's hard to get somebody out from 7 billion. That's a lot of money. I mean, I would never see that. And let me be practical here. At the rate of my lovely supporters sending their donation, it will take me like 100 years to see $1 billion. 100 years. Look, I'm being practical here. I would love if people can, reach deep into their pocket. Just reach deep into their pockets and say, hey, let me keep Dr. Prasad focused and stand with his movement. Because when I'm president, I'm not giving any cash grants, I'm telling you. So if you think you're going to support me financially because I'm going to give cash grants, that's out the question. That's out the question. I am not in the cash grants business. I rather raise your salary. I rather pay my nurses and my doctors and my teachers exorbitant money. And yeah, I'm going to pay the teachers and the nurses more than the ministers. Because the ministers don't do fucking shit. They sign agreements. That's all you see them doing. Signing agreements and signing away the country's wealth. Like what they did with the recent oil stuff. That they're signing away the country's wealth to the white man. That's what they do. So if I'm president, the ministers will be paid like the teachers. And the teachers will be paid like the ministers. And all them nurses. And a point I want to emphasize on here. This mentality that the Guyanese politicians have. They love the foreign photo op, you know, it's about the foreigners and the foreigners and the foreigners. That's why the nurses are leaving. That's why the Guyanese nurses are leaving. Because you're bringing Cuban nurses, you're bringing nurses from other countries, and you're paying them far more than your experienced Guyanese nurses. There are hundreds, I mean, literally thousands of Guyanese nurses in the United States, in Canada, in England, in Europe. Thousands with more experience because they use that opportunity being abroad to educate themselves. Tell me something. I mean, is the government a bunch of fucking lunatics that you can't put a program together and hire those Guyanese nurses from other countries? You tell me they would love to come back to their country? Of course they will. Life is better in your own country any fucking day. But you're not going to pay them what they're getting in those countries, but you're going to pay Cuban nurses what Guyanese nurses are making in foreign countries. You're paying Cuban nurses in Guyana and foreign people that you got in Guyana the salary that Guyanese are getting abroad. But you can't pay your own people abroad to come home the same salary they're getting abroad. The hypocrisy. But that's the mentality of Guyanese politicians. The same way they hire these Jamaicans, they pay them all that kind of money. They wouldn't pay Guyanese lawyers that. Even if they brought Guyanese lawyers from different countries, they would not pay them that kind of money. Oh, they don't deserve it. But they're going to pay foreigners that kind of money with Guyanese taxpayers' dollars. Bring the Guyanese nurses and professionals. The hospitals need staff. You're building all these massive hospitals, but you don't have staff. Staff is there. People are there to work. Just pay them. Pay them good. Take money from Anand Nandalal. Take money from Priya Manikchan. Take money from the Sonia Prak. Take money from them. They ain't doing shit. They're there to look out for the government. The government should give them aside money, but not taxpayers' money for their lifestyle. Fucking security guard and bodyguards and all this bullshit for a fucking minister. Doing what? What? They're a threat now? You voted for them, but they have to protect themselves against you. You voted for them. Listen to the stupidity. You voted for these not the ministers. You didn't vote for the ministers. You vote for the People's Progressive Party, for the president. When they were coming in your neighborhood, they had no bodyguards. They come alone. Suddenly, your vote empowered the president to make them ministers again, and they need like 100 bodyguards to come in the same neighborhood they walk with their fucking slippers during elections. Anyways, your fault. You voted for them. But what I'm saying here, no Guyanese citizen should wait more than 3 months to get a piece of land. No Guyanese. I said first come, first serve. And all these people that are leaving the country is because your pay is shitty, your salary is shitty. Fuck the cash grant. Enough with it. If you're going to give Guyanese increase in their salaries, don't insult them with 10% and 8%. The fuck is 8%? Give them 100%. Because the money is there. The money is there. That's not the money you're using to build infrastructure. That's loan money. Taxpayers' money and money revenues from all these projects and all these natural resources, it's enough to pay Guyanese good salaries without cash grants. Just pay the people, man. For heaven's sake. Pay them. Running fucking around and talking about this and talking about that. I'm done with this Mr. Nice Guy shit, man. I'm tired of seeing politicians living like king living like kings and talking with a lot of shit in their mouth as if they're better than the average citizen. I am tired of that fucking shit. I'm done with it. You didn't vote for yourself. Guyanese voted for you. They deserve to be treated like kings and queens, not you. Guyanese deserve to be treated like kings and queens, not you. You want fucking worship? Arrogance. I'm done with that bullshit. I hope Guyanese wake up and understand that neither side has your best interest. Neither side. They don't have your best interest. Your best interest, you yourself must look out for it. Anyway, remember to subscribe to this channel. Follow me on all my platforms. And if you don't have a Zeller account, if you don't have access to make donations via Zeller, meaning you're not in North America or these places, then you can contact me on my WhatsApp number. Contact me on the WhatsApp number, and you can make your donations via Western Union or MoneyGram. But you have to contact me first, so I give you the information you need, that you can wire that donation. If you don't have the Zeller app, and that number is the account number. It's not a number to call. It's a number attached to the account. You just have to wire your donation via that. But if you don't have access to that, send me a text on WhatsApp, and I'll tell you the WhatsApp number is on my video, so you can see it there. And I can tell you how you can do it via Western Union or MoneyGram. And to the haters, I know you want attention. I know I'll give you some attention. To the haters, I am Chedi Jagannite for life. I am forever PPP, forever. All right? So if you want to send me threats, do it on my page so the world can see what an asshole you are. Don't send me private messages or call me. No, I ain't got time for that. You want to be brave? You want to be a thug? Then make the threat public. Do it on the live. Do it on the comments. Do it on Facebook, on TikTok. Do it so that people can see the level of your stupidity. But telling me in secret, you think I'm going to post it? I'm done with that. Or when you see me in person, come up to my face and do it. When you see me in person, in Guyana, wherever, you approach me and repeat those threats. I beg you, do it. Anyway, until next time. Goodbye now.